Hello and a very good day everyone. So today we will learn on Power Query, Power Pivot, Pivot Table and Dashboard. So if you look over here, we do have a fictional company, Oil and Gas 𝗤𝗲𝗿 inventory listing, whereby we have the inventories code in this particular worksheet. We have a table called CRM, which is Customer Relationship Management. So in this particular table, we have the customer ID, customer, PICs and the state of each location. And then after that, we also have sales order. So basically, this is the sales transaction for this company. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use Power Query to import data, do data cleaning, and I'm going to use Power Pivot to create a relationship, and then Pivot Table to create a summary, a dashboard to show to the management. So let's get started. So first thing is, I press Ctrl N. By pressing Ctrl N, what happens is we can create a new Excel file. So Ctrl N can be used in Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel, even in Google Chrome. Because when you press Ctrl N, N means new, it will create a new version of that particular folder or particular software. So now what I'm going to do is, basically I want to actually use Power Query to import the particular file. So I'm going to use Power Query. So you need to go to data, get data, and then from file you choose Excel workbook. Why? Because we are importing from the Excel workbook. So we click it over here, you will notice a box will appear. So the box will ask you where you save your file, what file you want to choose. So I save my file in the desktop. So suppose if you save in OneDrive, downloads, documents, you can go to the particular folder and so on. So in this case, what I do is, I save my file under day 1, 13 December. And the name of the file is file number 3, data modeling part 2. So I'm going to select this file and I'm going to press import. So once I press import, you will notice that a box will appear. So in this box, what I need to do is, I need to actually select all the worksheet. So what I'll do is, I select this worksheet, CRM. You can actually tick one by one. Or if just say you want to tick everything in one go, you need to use your two hands. Your left hand, you press the shift button, and your right hand, you use your mouse and select on this sales order. So automatically all these worksheet will be selected. And what I'll do is, I'll press transform data. Why? Because I want to go to Power Query and I want to do some cleaning actually. I need to clean the data because the data is not clean. So like if you see here, for example, inventory listing, a very easy database. So the data is not clean. So I need to right click here and remove the column. So the first column is removed, and then after that 1, 2, 3, the first 3 rows is not needed, so I need to remove the first 3 rows. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to remove row, remove blank row. So now the blank row has been removed, and then I will use first row as header. So you can actually go over here, or you can go to transform and click use first row as header. So either way, either home also can, under transform also can. So now we have already cleaned this data. Next, we go to CRM. So the same thing, we just right click and remove, and the first 3 row is not necessary. So we remove the top row also can, or remove blank row also can. And just like that, and then after that, use first row as header. You can go over here, or you can go to transform, use first row as header. Boom, there you go. So CRM is done. Inventory listing is done. Next is sales order. So sales order, the same thing. You can right click or remove, or you can select the particular column and then you press delete. And then what you do is, you just remove the row. So how to remove the row? You click here, you remove the blank row, and then just like that, it will be removed. And then what you can do is, you can actually use first row as header to put the first row as the header, to promote the first row becoming the header. And then the next thing is, if you notice here, ABC, 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 1, 2, 3. What does it mean? That means this is a text column, this is a number column. But here we show ABC 1, 2, 3 because this data is date, and all this data is basically date and time. So the Power Query confused. What is it? Is it a date column? Is it a text column? So we need to actually format accordingly to a proper formatting. And then what I'll do is, I'll just select these 2 columns because 1 unit is equivalent to about 7,000 ringgit, 8,000 ringgit, 5,000 ringgit. 1 unit is 7,000. 1 unit is 5,000 ringgit. That means one quantity is about 5,000 ringgit. And this is a very expensive price because this is an oil and gas product. So oil and gas normally depends on what the inventory you purchase, it will be expensive. So what I'm going to do is, since 1 unit is equals to 7,997, I need to multiply with the 10 quantities. So how I want to multiply? Of course, it's not that I equal multiply. I go to add column. Under add column, we have standard and we select multiply. And just like that, we will have our multiplication. So over here, I'll rename as total sales. Yeah, so there you go. So now we do have these three tables. So you need to understand what is the common column. So here in inventory, we only have two columns. So apparently here we have inventory codes. When we go to sales order, we notice that here also we have inventory code. And then in the CRM, we notice that we have customer ID. And in sales order, we have the customer ID. So apparently what happened is we do have the master data in the sales order, and we do have the sub data sets in the respective database. So what I'm going to do is I need to go to home and I'll press close and load too. Some of you will ask me why I never press close and load, because when you press close and load, it will automatically load as a table in a new worksheet. So let me press close and load too. So to show you, when you press close and load too, what happens is it gives you several options. Whether you want to load as pivot table, pivot chart, only create connection, or you want to do in an existing file and so on. So in this case, I want to only load as create connection. That means it will not load as a table, will not load as a pivot table. It will not create any storage or fill the data. Second thing is I want to add to data model. So this is very important for Power Pivot. So let me just click this and then press OK. So when I press OK, automatically it will create a connection for these three different database. The next thing what I want to do is I want to create a pivot table, because pivot table is only concentrated for one table only. But using Power Pivot, we can create a pivot table connecting these three different tables. So if you look here carefully, I have Power Pivot. Suppose in your Excel file you don't have Power Pivot, don't worry. What you need to do is I'll just right click on the home. So over here we do have customize the ribbon. You click over here, a box will appear and you need to go to add in. Under add in, you need to see here manage Excel add in. So what you do is you click on manage com add in and you press go. Automatically a box will appear. What you need to do is you need to tick on Microsoft Power Pivot, because if just say your Excel file don't have Power Pivot, don't worry, you need to click over here. You just press OK. So now if you notice your file, we have this Power Pivot. So now what to do is I'm just going to show you. Let me just click this Power Pivot over here. So since we have already add data to the model, I'll just go to manage. By going to manage, you will see a Power Pivot for Excel will pop up. What I'll do is I'll go to diagram view, meaning to say if just say you know Power BI. In Power BI, we have the model view where we can do data modeling. That means we can create a relationship between the data sets. So here I have the main data sets called sales order. Here we have inventory listing. Here we have CRM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create a connection. So if you notice carefully, here we have customer ID. Here we have customer ID. So I select this and drag it over here. Just like that, a relationship has been formed. Over here, I have inventory code. Over here is inventories code. Here is singular, here is plurals. So even though the ejaan means the spelling is different, it doesn't matter. You can just select this and click. But what if just say I select wrongly? Because I select wrongly. Okay, it doesn't really matter if you select wrongly, because you can just right click and you can just edit the relationship. By clicking edit the relationship, you can edit over here. So if just say I accidentally press, don't worry, you can actually do what? You can edit. So here we have inventory code. Here we have inventories code. So these two is the same thing, and then you press OK. So automatically what happens is when you look here, the two data, the two different column is connected each other to a bridge. So here is star. What star means? Star means many. Here means one. That means here the data appear many times. Here the data only appear once. So from this given database, what we want to do is we want to create a pivot table. So let me just click pivot table and let me just put on this existing worksheet, maybe somewhere over here. So let me just remove this and put it over here. Okay, sorry. All right, there you go. And boom. So now we do have a pivot table for these three different data sets. So what I want to do right now is I want to know the performance from January to December. So I'm going to take the date. So when I take the date, automatically it will be in this format. So what I'm going to do is I put the date issued over here. So now we have the date. I don't want the date issued. I want the monthly data and I want the total sales. Okay, so now there you go. And then I'm going to press here right click and I'm going to use number format. And what I'm going to do is I want to change the format to number, use thousand separator, 0 decimal place, and then I press OK. So now we have the data over here. And what I want to do is I want to actually put the state and also the inventory. So the state at the filter and the inventories also I want to put at the filter. Okay, so there you go. So now what I'm going to